Most people think belly fat disappears when you punish yourself harder. They believe more discipline, stricter diets, and tougher workouts force the fat away. But visceral fat does not respond to force. It does not care how hard you try or how much you suffer. Visceral fat responds only to biological signals, not punishment. It listens to chemistry, not effort. And the chemistry that controls it begins the moment you open your eyes. The first 45 to 60 minutes after waking, decide whether your body burns fat or stores it. During this short window, your nervous system asks one simple question: am I safe or under threat? The answer to that question sets your metabolism for the next 12 to 16 hours. It decides whether your body releases visceral fat or protects it. This decision happens before you eat anything, before you count calories, before you even think about food. Your body makes the choice based on the signals you send. Two people can eat the same meals, follow the same fasting schedule, and do the same exercises. One loses visceral fat while the other does not. The difference is not motivation. It is not genetics. It is morning chemistry. The person who loses fat sends better signals in the first hour. The person who does not lose fat unknowingly sends stress signals that lock the fat in place. Willpower has nothing to do with it. Cortisol rises naturally every morning. This is normal and healthy. A proper cortisol rise gives you energy and alertness. It helps you wake up and face the day. But when cortisol stays elevated too long or spikes too high, it becomes a danger signal. Your body interprets prolonged cortisol as a threat. When the body senses danger, it forces you to hold on to visceral fat. This is not laziness. This is biology protecting you. Visceral fat wraps around your organs for a reason. It serves as emergency fuel during times of crisis. It also produces inflammatory chemicals that prepare your body for survival. Your body keeps this fat when it believes survival is threatened. You cannot force it away. You can only remove the signals that make your body believe it needs the fat in the first place. Chaotic mornings send powerful stress signals. Rushing to get ready, dehydration, drinking coffee on an empty stomach, checking your phone before you even stand up. These actions stack stress signals early in the day. Your body receives the message: do not release fat. The world is dangerous. Hold on to every calorie. This happens before you make a single food choice. Your metabolism is already set to storage mode. Morning sets the metabolic thermostat for the entire day. It decides burn mode versus store mode. This happens before food, before calories, before carbs or protein or fasting windows matter. Your nervous system decides first and your metabolism obeys. If the nervous system feels safe, fat can leave. If the nervous system feels threatened, fat stays locked. The people who succeed do not work harder. They send better signals earlier. 5 key morning signals control visceral fat. These signals have nothing to do with calories or exercise intensity. They have everything to do with telling your body it is safe. When your body feels safe, it allows fat to exit. When it feels threatened, it holds on tighter. The 5 signals are hydration with minerals, morning sunlight, delayed caffeine, gentle movement, and dopamine control. Let me explain each one clearly. Sleep causes dehydration and electrolyte loss. You wake up after hours without water. Your body is mildly dehydrated. Dehydration is interpreted as stress. Stress raises cortisol and blocks fat release. Proper hydration in the morning lowers cortisol and improves insulin sensitivity. This is not about drinking more water later in the day. This is about the first water you drink after waking. That first glass sends a signal. Skipping water and drinking coffee first thing backfires. Coffee stacks stress on top of dehydration. Cortisol spikes higher than it should. Fat-trapping enzymes stay active. Fat burning shuts down before the day even begins. You think the coffee gives you energy, but it is actually stealing your ability to burn visceral fat. Coffee is not bad. The timing is wrong. The correct hydration message is simple. Drink room temperature water with a small amount of minerals. This can be a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. The minerals signal safety and resource availability. Your body receives the message that everything is fine. Cortisol falls instead of spiking. Visceral fat becomes more willing to release later in the day. This one action changes the entire hormonal sequence. Morning sunlight is biological information, not just vision. Light enters your eyes and reaches your brain. It anchors your circadian rhythm. Proper light timing smooths cortisol patterns. When your cortisol rises and falls at the right times, your body knows it is safe. Safety allows fat release. Sunlight is not optional. It is a signal your body has relied on for thousands of years. Phone light confuses the brain. Artificial light without the proper spectrum makes cortisol rise without direction. Your nervous system stays on edge. It does not know if it is day or night, safe or threatened. Visceral fat remains locked because the body senses confusion. Confusion is danger. Morning sunlight fixes this. It tells the brain exactly what time it is, and that the world is predictable and safe. The benefits of morning sunlight go beyond fat loss. It improves insulin sensitivity, which controls blood sugar and fat storage. It regulates hunger hormones, so you feel satisfied instead of constantly craving food. It improves sleep later at night, which further reduces stress. It reduces chronic stress and belly fat resistance. 10 to 15 minutes of natural light after waking can reset your metabolism for the entire day. Cortisol already peaks naturally after waking. This is called the cortisol awakening response. Your body does this on its own. Adding caffeine too early amplifies this stress response. Stress blocks fat release and increases insulin resistance. Caffeine is not the enemy, but timing matters. When you drink coffee too soon, you turn a natural wake-up process into a stress event. Fasting plus early coffee is a common mistake. People think they are doing everything right. They skip breakfast, drink black coffee, and expect fat to melt away. But hormones signal emergency instead of fat burning. Visceral fat is protected, not released. Muscle breakdown risk increases because the body needs fuel, but refuses to use belly fat. The result is frustration, fatigue, and no visible change in the waist. Proper caffeine timing changes everything. Wait 60 to 90 minutes after waking. Let cortisol naturally decline first. Then coffee becomes supportive instead of disruptive. It enhances fat burning instead of blocking it. This small delay makes caffeine work with your body instead of against it. You still get the energy, you just get fat loss too. Intense exercise too early sends a threat signal. Your body interprets it as danger. Threat raises cortisol and promotes fat storage. Morning movement should signal safety, not danger. This does not mean you should never exercise. It means the type and intensity of movement in the morning must match your stress level and recovery state. The best type of morning movement is gentle. Walking, stretching, mobility work, or yoga send the right message. These activities improve insulin sensitivity and increase fat oxidation without stress. They activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and recovery system. This tells your body everything is fine. When the body feels fine, it releases fat. Gentle movement shrinks the waist because fat loss is hormonal permission, not calorie burn. You do not need to sweat or suffer in the morning. You need to send the signal that allows fat to leave. Hard workouts belong later in the day after your body has been told it is safe. Safety first, intensity second. This is the order that works. Your brain is highly sensitive upon waking. Dopamine systems are fresh and vulnerable. Phone use causes an immediate dopamine spike followed by a crash. The crash triggers stress and raises cortisol. Visceral fat receives a stay-put signal. This happens before you realize it. Your brain chemistry shifts, and your metabolism follows. Early dopamine overload increases sugar cravings later in the day. It leads to insulin instability. You think you lack discipline, but this is neurochemistry. Your brain is chasing the dopamine high it lost in the morning. The cravings are not your fault. They are the result of a chemical imbalance you created by checking your phone too early. Dopamine stability creates fat loss. Delay phone use for 30 to 60 minutes after waking. Let dopamine rise naturally through light movement and hydration. Stable dopamine equals stable insulin, which equals fat release. This is not about willpower. This is about protecting your brain chemistry during its most vulnerable window. The brain must feel safe before fat can leave. You cannot force visceral fat away. You can only remove the signals that told your body to store it. This is the core truth. Fat loss does not happen under threat. Alignment beats discipline. Fix the first hour and metabolism follows for the rest of the day. The simple morning sequence is this: hydration with minerals, sunlight exposure, gentle movement, delayed caffeine, and no phone or digital stress. These 5 actions send 5 clear signals. Together they tell your body it is safe. When your body feels safe, it allows fat to exit. This is not complicated. It is biological. Your body wants to release visceral fat. It just needs permission. Avoid hard workouts when you are stressed or underslept. Avoid phone use in bed or immediately after waking. Avoid instant caffeine on an empty, dehydrated body. Avoid rushing and urgency. These actions all send the same message: danger. Danger locks fat in place. You can work hard later in the day. The morning is for signaling safety. Do not work harder, work earlier. Remove stress signals from the first hour. Let visceral fat finally exit. The people who shrink their waistlines without suffering are not more disciplined. They are not genetically gifted. They simply fix the chemistry that was blocking fat release. You can do the same. Your body has been trying to tell you something for years. It has been holding visceral fat, not because you lack discipline, but because it believes you are in danger. Every rushed morning, every stressful start, every cup of coffee on an empty stomach has reinforced that belief. Your body thinks it is protecting you. It thinks the fat around your organs is keeping you alive. This is why willpower never worked. You were fighting biology instead of working with it. The truth is that your metabolism is not broken. It is responding exactly as it should to the signals you send. When you send stress signals, it stores fat. When you send safety signals, it releases fat. This has nothing to do with age, nothing to do with genetics, and nothing to do with how much you have struggled in the past. It has everything to do with the chemistry you create in the first hour after waking. Think about how most people start their day. The alarm goes off, they immediately reach for their phone, they check messages, emails, news, and social media. Their brain floods with information and dopamine spikes before they even sit up. Then they rush to the bathroom, skip water, and head straight for coffee. They might skip breakfast entirely, thinking fasting will help. They feel stressed, tight, and foggy. This is not a recipe for fat loss. This is a recipe for fat storage. Now think about what happens inside the body during that routine. Cortisol is already rising naturally. The phone adds a dopamine crash, which triggers more cortisol. Dehydration increases stress hormones further. Coffee on an empty stomach amplifies everything. The body interprets all of this as chaos. Chaos means danger. Danger means hold on to every ounce of visceral fat. By the time you sit down to eat or start your day, your metabolism has already locked into storage mode. But what if you changed just the first 60 minutes? What if you woke up and drank a glass of water with minerals before touching anything else? What if you stepped outside and let sunlight hit your eyes for 10 minutes while breathing calmly? What if you moved gently, stretching or walking slowly, letting your body wake up without force? What if you waited to check your phone and delayed your coffee until your cortisol naturally settled? How different would your body respond? The answer is completely different. Your cortisol would rise and fall in a smooth, healthy pattern. Your insulin sensitivity would improve immediately. Your hunger hormones would stabilize. Your nervous system would shift into a calm, alert state instead of a frantic, threatened state. Your body would receive the message that everything is fine. And when your body believes everything is fine, it stops protecting visceral fat. It allows the fat to be used for energy instead of stored for emergencies. This is not theory. This is how human biology works. Your ancestors did not wake up to alarms, screens, and instant caffeine. They woke up to sunlight, fresh air, and natural movement. Their cortisol patterns were smooth. Their bodies knew when to store energy and when to release it. Modern life has disrupted these patterns, but you can restore them. You can give your body the signals it evolved to receive. Some people worry that drinking water first thing will make them feel bloated. Others think sunlight does not matter if they get light through windows. Some believe they need coffee immediately, or they cannot function. These are habits, not biological requirements. Your body does not need coffee to wake up. It needs cortisol, which it produces on its own. Coffee borrowed against that natural energy and created a spike and crash cycle. When you delay coffee, you let your body wake up naturally first. Then coffee enhances energy instead of replacing it. Windows block the specific wavelengths of light your brain needs to set circadian rhythm. You can sit by a bright window all day and still confuse your internal clock. You need direct sunlight, even if it is cloudy. Even on overcast days, outdoor light is far stronger and more effective than indoor light. Your eyes need that input. Your brain needs that signal. 10 minutes outside is worth more than an hour by a window. Drinking water first thing does not cause bloating if you sip it slowly and add minerals. Pure water on an empty stomach can feel uncomfortable, but water with a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon absorbs better. It rehydrates your cells and signals safety. Your body recognizes this as nourishment, not stress. Bloating comes from gulping too fast or drinking ice-cold water, which shocks the system. Room temperature water with minerals feels natural and calming. Gentle morning movement does not mean you avoid exercise forever. It means you save intense workouts for later in the day when your cortisol is naturally lower and your body is fully awake. Afternoon or early evening workouts are far more effective for fat loss because your body is primed for intensity. Morning workouts only work when you are well rested, well fed, and low stress. If you are stressed, underslept, or fasting, morning intensity backfires. It becomes another stressor instead of a benefit. Walking is one of the most underrated fat loss tools. It does not feel like exercise, but it signals safety better than almost anything else. Walking outdoors combines movement, sunlight, and fresh air. It lowers cortisol, improves insulin sensitivity, and increases fat oxidation without triggering stress. You do not need to walk fast or far. 10 to 20 minutes of easy walking after waking sends a powerful signal. It tells your body the world is safe and energy can be released. Stretching and mobility work also signal safety. When you move slowly and breathe deeply, your parasympathetic nervous system activates. This is the rest and digest system. It opposes the fight or flight system. Parasympathetic activation lowers cortisol, improves digestion, and allows fat release. You can stretch in your living room, on your porch, or in your backyard. You do not need equipment or a routine, just move gently and breathe. Delaying your phone is one of the hardest changes, but also one of the most powerful. Your phone is designed to capture your attention. Every notification, message, and update triggers a dopamine response. When you check your phone first thing, you train your brain to crave that stimulation. The craving creates stress. The stress raises cortisol. The cortisol locks visceral fat in place. Breaking this habit takes effort, but the reward is immediate. Your mornings feel calmer. Your cravings decrease. Your focus improves. Your waistline starts shrinking. You do not need to avoid your phone forever. You just need to delay it for 30 to 60 minutes. Use that time for hydration, sunlight, and movement. Let your brain wake up naturally. Let dopamine rise from real-world experiences instead of digital ones. Then when you do check your phone, your brain is stable. The dopamine hit does not create a crash. You stay balanced instead of swinging between highs and lows. Some people ask if they can do these steps in a different order. The order matters. Hydration comes first because dehydration blocks everything else. Your brain cannot function well without water. Your cells cannot absorb nutrients. Your metabolism cannot operate efficiently. Water is the foundation. After hydration, sunlight and movement can happen in either order. Both are important. Both send safety signals. Do whichever feels natural to you. Then delay caffeine and phone use until your body has stabilized. You might wonder how long it takes to see results. Some people notice changes within days. They feel less bloated. Their energy is smoother. Their cravings decrease. Physical changes take longer, but they come. Within 2 to 4 weeks, most people notice their waistline shrinking, their pants fit better, their belly feels softer and less swollen. This is visceral fat beginning to release. It does not happen overnight, but it happens consistently when you send the right signals. The key is consistency, not perfection. You do not need to follow this routine perfectly every single day. Life happens. Some mornings will be rushed. Some days you will forget. That is fine. What matters is the pattern you create over time. Most mornings should follow this sequence. Most days should start with safety signals instead of stress signals. When you do that, your body responds. It learns that it is safe to release fat. It stops holding on to visceral fat as emergency protection. This approach works at any age. It works for people who have struggled for decades. It works for people who have tried every diet and failed. It works because it addresses the root cause instead of forcing temporary changes. Diets fail because they rely on restriction and willpower. This approach succeeds because it works with biology. You are not fighting your body. You are finally giving it what it needs. Your body wants to release visceral fat. It does not want to carry extra weight around your organs. That fat creates inflammation, increases disease risk, and makes you feel sluggish. Your body knows this. It would release the fat tomorrow if it believed it was safe to do so. Your job is to send the signals that create that belief. You do that in the first hour after waking. Start tomorrow morning with 1 glass of water before anything else. Add a pinch of salt or a slice of lemon. Step outside and look at the sky for 10 minutes. Move gently for 5 to 10 minutes. Do not check your phone. Wait 60 to 90 minutes before drinking coffee. This is the sequence. This is the signal. This is how visceral fat finally lets go. The people who win at fat loss are not warriors. They are not grinding through pain. They are sending signals their body understands. They wake up slowly. They hydrate before they stimulate. They light their circadian clock. They move without force. They protect their dopamine. They delay their caffeine. These small actions create massive hormonal shifts. The shifts unlock visceral fat. The fat releases day after day. The waistline shrinks week after week. You do not need more motivation. You do not need a new program. You do not need another diet book. You need to fix the first hour. Everything else follows from there. Morning chemistry creates daily metabolism. Daily metabolism creates weekly results. Weekly results create lifelong change. It all starts when you open your eyes. Your nervous system is listening. It listens every single morning. It asks the same question, safe or threatened. Your answer decides everything. Give the right answer. Send the right signals. Watch visceral fat finally leave. This is not hard. This is just honest. Your body wants to work with you. Stop fighting it. Start signaling it. The fat will go.